6 months, 2,515 miles sailed. We'd experienced our first overnight and offshore passages, our first Gulf Stream crossing. We were held up by a hurricane in Savannah and by broken bridges, and we confronted our first medical emergency at sea. But why don't we start at the beginning? So we are underway, and I'm getting a little bit of rest because I'm going to take the first night shift tonight on our first overnight passage. So just trying to get ahead of it a little bit. And we're cruising along. So we just took a reef in. It was blowing up 20, 22. Now it's blowing 10 to 12, of course. We're still doing 5.5, 6.5 knots. And we just passed over the mouth of the Patuxent River and proceeding down the western side of the Chesapeake. And we should be crossing the Potomac in about 4 hours, 3.5 hours, something like that. So, yeah, we're going along. And we've got the Raymarine app running on the tablet. So as I'm laying here, I'm able to just kind of see what's going on outside. We got the radar overlay and AIS on. And there's a little peace of mind as I'm sitting here, making sure everything's going okay. Well, it's 11:15. It's dark, and the sky is unbelievably clear and beautiful. I don't think you can see me, but we've done almost 69 miles in 12 hours, right on the nose. We are approaching the Rappahannock River, and just came on my watch here. We're just kind of taking the watches as they come, just kind of going as long as we can, and then waking somebody up to get a little break. But the boat's doing 5.5, 6 knots. We're pretty heavily reefed. We saw some gusts to 27 miles an hour. So we reefed into Genoa. We already had a reef in the main put in before dark, and we're kind of cooking along. There's not a lot of traffic out here. A couple of interesting incidents with big ships. We had one guy coming up the traffic separation zone, approaching the Potomac on the wrong side of the separation zone, and he was like 738 feet, I think, in length. That was kind of interesting. And then we had a big fishing boat kind of passed us a moment ago, starboard to starboard, and he was running up tight against the more shallow side of the bay, so we kind of went ahead and went to port and cleared him. But otherwise, we're making a lot of time. We're really getting down the bay. It's not awful. The temperature's about 50 degrees. The seawater temperature is 62, so that's helpful. But yeah, it's going okay. Well, you probably can't see it, but dawn is starting. We've got nautical twilight happening right now. Just a little bit of light on the horizon, kind of able to see stuff. And I had a beautiful night's sail. We were about 12 miles from Norfolk, and we had to turn the engine on. We just wind's starting to come on the nose, and it really died off, so we weren't making any progress. So we're motoring. We're gonna have to bear away in a little bit for Norfolk, and and hopefully we'll catch a little wind and maybe shut the engines off for the last little bit. But I'm back on. Had about 3 hours sleep from 1 to 4, and it's pretty easy. 3 people doing the night shifts, so that worked out real well. We are in the ditch. It's like an old boat over there. It's kind of cool. Anyway, big barge up ahead of us. And that big power boat just passed us, and we're coming up on Great Bridge. So we finished our first sail. It was overnight. We went 24 hours. We left at 11:15 yesterday morning. We were here around 5-6-ish in Great Bridge, and we did 137.8 miles. That's by far the longest thing we've ever done. Amy, what did you think of sailing overnight?
Well, I was a little nervous. I can't lie about that. But when the wind calmed down, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, and we made it, and made a lot of progress too.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. What did he say?